So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining again this Tuesday. We are working with the upper back, neck and shoulders again, working on heart openers and also strengthening the shoulders. We'll be doing some work around that. So if we could just start by lying on our backs. And just moving one arm at a time. So inhale, the arm comes up to your place, wherever that is. I'm starting with the left, then moving to the right. Could have a bolster behind you. You could bend the elbow or just not bring the arm all the way. And then exhale, bringing it down. And just do the right arm. See if you can tuck the chin in at the end of the inhale. You might have a pillow behind your head or a blanket. Exhale. And then both arms. And exhale. And just do that again, left, right, both in your own timing. Inhale up, exhale down. Maybe starting to count the breath. Inhale 4 to 6 seconds, exhale the same or maybe even longer. Maybe you add a hold after inhale of a couple of seconds. You can notice the movement of the upper back as you inhale and perhaps the lower back as you exhale. Or maybe you notice the upper back even as you exhale. Or maybe the shoulder, maybe the weight of the shoulder. Just finishing up. If you're comfortable bringing your arms overhead after you finish your round. Maybe straightening your legs if that's comfortable. You can also bring your feet to the wall. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, dropping the shoulder blades. Can you keep your hands on the ground as you do that, or do they come off? Just notice that. So that's showing kind of the rotation of your shoulder. And when you're in this angel arm position, can you actually feel, or cactus, can you feel one shoulder blade feels a bit different than the other? Just notice that. And then when you're ready, inhale coming up. Tucking the chin in at the top of the inhale. Exhale down. Let's keep this going. Inhale up, exhale down. And when you've done 4 to 6, just coming out of that, exhale, arms coming down. Bending your knees, they're not bent already. You're welcome to put something between your thighs if you like. You can also put a belt on your thighs if you want to really lock in your lower back. So inhale, bringing just the left arm up. Exhale, left arm coming down. At the end of the exhale, if you like, you can turn your head to the left. Bring your head center. Inhale, right arm coming up, tucking the chin in. Exhale, coming down. You could leave your arm up there a little bit longer. I'll show that on the next round. At the end of the exhale, you turn your head to the right. And just keep that going. Inhale, head center, arm coming up. If you want, when you're coming down, you could leave your arm a little bit longer up there so you get some traction through that left side of the spine. And bringing the hand down at the end of the exhale and turning the head. Pausing for a couple of seconds after exhale. And then moving to the next side, starting by turning the head and coming up. This is from Chennai, from Mr. Desgachar. You'll see this in Gary Kraftso's work. Many students in our tradition teach this variation. It's going side to side, noticing discrepancies between sides in terms of the shoulder, in terms of the ability to rotate the head, the neck. When you've done 4 to 6 rounds, just taking a break. Your head center. What we're going to do is something similar. This time we're going to leave one arm up as we turn the head. So this is a variation I created for myself many years ago. Inhale, arms coming up, both arms. Exhale, bring the left arm down and leave the right arm up. Just feel the difference when you leave the arm up on the effect of the stretch. You might bend that top arm slightly as you turn the head to the left. Inhale, left arm joining right, lifting the hips, tucking the chin in at the top of the inhale. Exhale, coming down, right arm coming down, turning the head right. At the bottom of the exhale, just keep this going side to side. After you finish your last round and you find yourself with your head turned left, your left side, just stay there. So your right arm's overhead, your left arm is down, your head is turned to the left. Just stay there. Each time you exhale, just try to turn your head a little bit more. You might bend the right arm just to get a bit of a different stretch. On the right side of the neck, inhale, release a little bit. Exhale, turn the head. Now try to have the top of the head aligned with the neck, the base of the neck, that part of the neck that sticks out, the C7. Try to align the top of the head with that. So most of us will need to bring the top of our head more to the right to do that. Make sure it's not tilted too much to the left. Feel that stretch. On the side of the right neck, probably. When you feel ready, you're going to Untwist the head. Inhale, bring both arms up overhead, tuck the chin in. And exhale, right hand comes down, turn the head to the right, the back of the head to the left arm. And each time you exhale, just try to turn the head a little bit more to the right. Inhale, release. You could bend that top arm a little bit if you want. Play with that. Bottom hand, palm up or down, just see the difference and how that feels. We've done 4 to 6. Just untwisting the head. Inhale, center, arms up. Exhale, arms coming down. This time we're going to focus on the back of the head. So we're focusing a little bit more on the neck. So inhale, arms coming up to your place. Again, if this doesn't work for you, you could bend the elbows like this. Have the hands on top of the head, or if you can, arms straight. The arms could be on a bolster as well, or the arms could be at the sides if this does not work for you. Your legs can be bent, or you could straighten them in full Tadaka Mudra. You're going to exhale, bring your chin down and press the back of your head into the floor as you exhale, and then inhale, release. Inhale into the chest, into the belly. Exhale, zip up from the bottom all the way to the top, from Mula Bandha to Uddiyana Bandha to Jalandhara Bandha, the stomach lock, from the pelvic floor lock, stomach lock, and chin lock. And on that hold after exhale, press the back of the head into the floor and draw the belly in and up. Inhale, release, unzip the jacket from the top to the bottom. If you want to do the classical pose, interlock the fingers, palms facing up towards the sky behind you, or the palms could be together. That might feel better if you have one shoulder that's lower than the other. You can kind of pull that shoulder up. So my left shoulder is lower than my right, and I put my right thumb on my left thumb and I pull it up to get that shoulder more even. So this is the position my teacher gave me for this pose, for example. So let's try again. Inhale into the chest, into the belly. Exhale, pelvic floor locks, stomach locks, and then the chin locks, and press the back of the head into the floor and hold after exhale. And inhale, release. Release all those locks. And again, you can do this without the arms. The arms can be anywhere that's comfortable. If the arms aren't working for you, just work on the head. Some of you might feel better pressing the head into the floor on the inhale versus the exhale, but if you can do the exhale, it will get you to do the classical lock of the bandhas, all 3 after exhale. Trying to do this 4 to 6 times or a bit more. Hold after exhale 2 or more seconds. And when you feel complete, bringing your arms down and resting. Notice any sensations in your neck, in your shoulders. Notice your breath maybe has sped up a bit, gradually slowing down. And when you feel ready, bend those knees, arms at the sides, feet as wide as the mat. So inhaling here, exhale, bring the knees to one side and then slide, sorry, I'll be specific, bring the knees to the left and bring your right hand along your heart, massaging your left arm and rolling to the right, all the way onto your forehead. And then inhale, coming back to the center with your body, with your legs. And then exhale, other side. Just rolling side to side as you exhale. You want to add on sundial your arm up overhead on the inhale. And then exhale, sundial it down. So this is just slightly different. The more you roll to the side, the more you'll stretch the back of the shoulder. And just finishing up, coming back to the center. Just rest for a minute. Just placing the hands on the heart. Your knees are bent. We're going to do bridge again. If you want to put a block between your legs, feel free. You're going to inhale. You're going to lift your hips up with your hands on your heart if you can. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your palms together and bring them away from you. And stretch your shoulders forward. Inhale, bring your arms overhead to the floor behind you. Exhale, bring your hands to the ceiling. Inhale, lifting your hips up, bringing your hands to your heart. Your elbows down, lift your hips up. Exhale, coming down, stretching your hands to the ceiling as much as you can, the shoulders away. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands above the heart. Inhale, lift the hips, bring the hands to the heart. Elbows down. You can use those elbows to lift you a little higher. Exhale, hands to the ceiling, stretching the hands away, shoulders away from you. Inhale, arms overhead, chin in. Exhale, hands to the ceiling. Inhale, hands to the heart, elbows coming down. And now you're going to stay here. Now, if you like, you can open up. So we've got some choices. Hands can just stay on the heart. They can go to the ceiling. They can rest on the belly, or they can open up into that kind of cactus arm and Maybe step your feet in a bit, tuck your elbows underneath. Just see if you could stay here. Notice if one shoulder rotates differently than the other. If your hands don't come down, bring them lower until they do. So it might be wrists coming out of the elbows, or you might bring them all the way down towards your ankles. So pick your medicine. Just showing different possibilities. You can use the hands to the ceiling. You can use your elbows like feet and really press on them and get your hips higher, and then open up from there. Just see, where is that rotation for me today? And just keep breathing. If you want to add on, you can inhale, come up on your toes, lift your hips higher. And exhale, come down. You can add a little bit of dynamic movement. And also always interlock your hands underneath. Some people might like that stretch on the shoulders. Just see what works for your shoulders, what position. And if you've had a shoulder injury in the past, it might be a very changing thing, week by week, month by month. Old injuries can get aggravated and you'll be like, oh, can't do that. And then, oh, I can do that. It's just being real with what's going on when you're ready, coming out of it. And rest. So we're just going to do some asana with a focus on the shoulders. We haven't done in a while. So just holding on to the knees, you're going to inhale, use the knees to press the hands away, and then exhale, draw the shoulders back and down, and focus your mind on that as you move in and out of the pose. So don't worry about the lower back right now. Inhale, shoulders rotate forward on the inhale, and exhale, they rotate back. Shoulder blades go down the back at the end of the exhale. Now, if you want, you can do this one leg at a time, which can be very helpful if you have one shoulder that's got an injury present or previous. So inhale, I'm showing with holding my left knee with the right hand. Inhale, I'm pressing the knee into my hand, and then exhale, I bring the knee actually across my body to my right shoulder as I exhale. So I'm just going to do that 4 times. So feel free to join me, or you can keep doing both knees. And this can be very helpful for isolating the shoulders. You can also straighten that other leg and do it that way for some variety. And you almost get a bit of a twist. It's be really good for mobilizing a shoulder that can be a bit sticky. And switching sides if you haven't. If you're doing both knees, you can just do that. You could, with both knees, just go from the straight leg position to both legs coming in if you want to challenge yourself. I'm going to show with one leg. So inhale, I'm holding the right knee with my left hand. As I inhale, I press the knee into my fingers, and then exhale, I draw the knee across to that left shoulder. And it's also, I'm finding, good for stretching the fingers, because since the accidents I had a year ago, I have had some long-term effects on my hand and my fingers. So it's like, oh, it's actually good for that. And just finishing up. Relax your legs, they can be straight or bent. And just rest for a moment. Hopefully you're feeling your shoulders and your neck quite a bit. We'll work on bringing the ear towards the shoulder. Now, normally I just do the seated, which I think I did last week in class. But this time I'm going to show you how to do it lying down. So you're going to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And I'm just, so if I'm seated, it's like this. I'm just bringing the head towards the shoulder. Just showing you that way if you can kind of get the visual. And then on the other side, it's like that. So you're bringing my left top of my head towards my left shoulder. And the advantage of doing this on the floor, I actually did this for the first time a week ago, and I was like, wow, this is really helpful because you can feel the back of your head and you can actually feel the alignment of your neck really well if you dial into the back of your head. Just feel any tightness there. And then maybe use your left hand to press the head into the hand for up to 10 seconds, and then maybe stretch a bit more. Just be careful with that. So considering pressing the head into the hand for 5 to 10 seconds and then stretching a bit more. When you do the full stretch, try to bring that left elbow down to the floor. Let's try that a few more times. Just using a PNF response to get the muscle spindles to release. So you can stretch a bit more. When you're ready, release that to the center, and we're going to go to the other side. You don't have to use the hand if you're worried for any reason. For example, you have concerns about stroke and you don't want to work too much on those neck flexors. That's totally valid. You can leave that hand off. So I'm going to bring the top of my head towards my right shoulder. And again, I'm just going to show it seated for a minute. So just don't forget it's this angle. And a hand on top of the head, and then on the inhale, the head is pressing into the hand, and the exhale, it's coming down, and that elbow comes down. When you press away into the hand towards the left, you want to do that 5 to 10 seconds. 10 is considered more ideal by physios. Just feel any differences side to side. For me, this side's much easier than the first side. Depend on what kinds of injuries. This one's really good for neck whiplash recovery. So you might have done something like this with a physio, with them doing this to you. You can do this yourself. So I know at least one of you in the room, you've had a concussion. When you've had a concussion, according to some practitioners, there's a pretty high parallel comorbidity with whiplash. So it takes less than 10 Gs to get whiplash, and it's over 80 to get a concussion. When you feel complete, just coming out of that, rest your neck center. You feel a lot of blood flow in the head. Just rest. Let's just bring the focus down to the belly. Long exhale. focus on really long exhales. Drawing the belly in from the pelvic floor up to the belly button. Add a hold after exhale if you like. It's drawing the energy down after all that work in the pranasthana, just bringing it down to the apanasthana at the belly. Right, so when you feel complete, we're going to roll onto the belly. And as we did last week, you're welcome. Sorry, I forgot to grab my pillow. It's right here. You're welcome to use a pillow underneath the belly to give you a bit more support for your lower back, but also for many people, just help them get a little higher in the Bhujangasana Cobra poses. This, if you don't have a lot of range of motion in your upper back, it can be kind of frustrating. So having even like a big bed pillow, I remember or even a bolster. The first time I did this with a bolster, I was like, wow, that's really cool. Actually, you know what? Today I'm going to show it with my bolster. Why not? It's a long time since I've taught this. It's kind of fun, but you can do it with a bed pillow or a pillow. So you're just going to inhale. You're going to lift up a little bit or a lot. And yeah, the bolster definitely takes the strength work out of it, but adds more flexibility. And some of you might come to a straight arm position. Just be careful for your lower back. When you come down, you might have a cushion that you bring your forehead to or a soft block. There's a landing pad if that's too much for your neck. You're going to adjust those hands to where it feels good for your body. And again, if you have lower back issues, you can always tuck those toes under and just add a little bit more strength work. If you have lower back issues, I wouldn't recommend using the bolster. That's going to be too much. Okay, so I'm going to switch from the bolster to the pillow now for the rest of it, which I would recommend if you were using the bolster, because I want you to use a bit more strength now. Or no pillow. Pillow is no higher than your sternum. Okay. So you're going to do one side at a time, a shalabhasana, but with just the upper body. So bring your hands behind. You're going to inhale, you're going to bring your left arm up and salute left. And exhale, come down, turn your head to the right. And then inhale, coming up, salute right, bring your chin in. And exhale, coming down and turn the head to the left. Just keep this going side to side. And again, those lower legs, you could tuck the toes under if you have a lower back problem on the inhale to protect the lower back. Now, if this is feeling easy for you, you could make the lever longer by extending the arm to a diamond shape on the inhale, aligned with the top of the head. Those of you prone to headaches, be careful to really tuck that chin in. And if you get the message, this is too much, take a break. So I know a couple of you get migraines, just be careful. These kinds of movements can aggravate headaches, so just be careful. If you're able to move to both arms, this is to strengthen the upper back and the shoulders. It's also working on rotation of the neck. And just finishing up, it's going to go into child's pose. So I know a couple of you are just a little concerned about your necks. And child's pose with the arms forward stretches more the upper back. Oh. Before we come to our next kneeling transition, I want to do our chest opener work. So I'm going to show with 2 blocks. You're welcome to roll a mat if you want to use that as your block. So as your prop rather, or you could use a bolster. So I actually will show all 3. So I'm rolling on my mat here. And I'm going to get my yoga carpet, which always reminds me of how my teachers in India practice with carpets when they lie down, not yoga mats. It's also very comfortable as we age to have something a little thicker. And you just bring this mat and put it lengthwise along your spine. You're welcome to use a bolster or those 2 blocks. I'll show the blocks in a minute. Just the arms to the side. If this doesn't feel hard enough, you could put blocks underneath it. Either soft blocks or hard blocks, which makes it higher. Your lower back hurts when you do this, or you've changed this up. It goes to the base of the rib cage, by the way. Put something underneath your lower back, a block or a pillow, so that there's less of a back arch. It'll look more like that. So pick your medicine. I'm now going to show, so you do that with a bolster or some sort of, rolled blanket. The next variation is going to look like this. So one block like this and the other like that, or like that for the head. This is for the head. This is between the shoulder blades. The base of the block goes no lower than the middle of your spine, where you might have a bra strap. And you want to be really comfortable. So if your neck isn't comfortable, try the higher position, the vertical position of this block. And this is obviously from Iyengar yoga, restorative yoga. This position is more of a deep stretch. And this was my very first Iyengar yoga pose that I learned in 2003, and it learned it from Joya Irwin. Started studying with her, actually one of her students, and then I started studying with her. Wonderful Iyengar yoga teacher, now retired in Vancouver. For many years she taught in her apartment in Kitsilano. So just And what I was just amazed how much it helped my then neck that I had chronic pain, and it's just instant relief from pain. Some people prefer to put this first block across as well. I prefer to have it vertical because it feels more natural for the spine. But you can play with that. Now, if you like, adding on a little bit of vinyasa, this is a Maggie add-on. So inhale, extending the arms up, and then exhale, bend the elbows. We did this without any props earlier, right at the beginning of the class in Tadaka Mudra. Just see if you can add some movement to this. Inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. If you're having any pain or discomfort, you can go flat on your back or try just a rolled blanket. Maybe the rolled mat or the blocks are too hard for your body. Or adjust where the blocks are, which I just did because something was not comfortable. Just doing those angel arms, inhale up, exhale down. Getting between the shoulder blades. And when you're ready, just with your arms at the sides. As you exhale, give yourself a hug, holding the backs of the shoulders, and then inhale, bring your arms up. Sorry, open your arms to the sides. Sorry about that. Exhale, switch the crossing, hug the other way. Hold the backs of the shoulder blades, inhale, open up. And if you like, just working with Kristen Neff's self-compassion work, which I used it as part of my concussion recovery. It was extremely helpful. She uses this to just help soften and soothe when there's feelings of grief or loss, sadness, shame, any of those kind of hard, heavy emotions. She's found in her research just this self-touch, holding yourself can be very soothing. If you like, you can say to yourself, I love and accept myself exactly as I am, as you give yourself that hug. Or just, you could say, love or loved. Hold after exhale. Sometimes I do that. And then if you're ready, just stay in that heart opener. If you need to change the position, do so. You could lie just on your back, flat. You could have a bolster underneath your legs. You could have a pillow underneath your buttocks to help your lower back. Just adjust the height of your arms, whether your elbows are bent to comfort. What will give you even 1% more comfort, just adjusting until you get a yes in your nervous system. It says, yes, this is it. This is comfort. And for those of you with scoliosis, you might have one arm extended up and the other down. Your upper back curve. Inhale, am. Exhale, loved. L-O-V-E or L-O-V-E-D. Inhale, am. Exhale, loved. Loved makes it more personal. Love is more universal. This really helps for those with self-esteem issues, shame issues, blame, shame. Yoga, as for the Bhagavad Gita, talks about these opposites. We don't want to crave the opposite of blame, which is praise. Or shame. The opposite could be fame. We don't want to crave that opposite. And you'll find the ego often will. So love is something between those opposites. Transcends and descends those opposites. And exhale, love or loved. Starting to come out. You could just lie in Shavasana or join us seated. We're going to transition through some kneeling sequences that I know everyone in the room today can do. For those doing this online, you could just choose to lie in Shavasana for the rest of the class. You could stop the video and just rest. Are you ready? Just rolling up. Releasing. You could choose to go to your yoga mat now or feel comfortable with your other mat. Just going to work with those wrists a little bit, which is something I've had to learn about in the last year. So you're going to create some fists with your hands like this, and you're going to put them down on the ground and your thumbs forward, and you're just going to find that position and just do some cat-cow in that position. And when you inhale, you're going to bend your elbows by arms are parallel, bring your chest through. You're also strengthening your triceps by doing this. And then exhale, press away. This is just strengthen the wrists. You might be working on flexion of the fingers as well if you have any issues there. You could certainly do this with the hands spread if you prefer, if that works better for your body. If you have wrist issues, you can align the top of, your knuckles with the edge of a mat that's folded over with my thicker mat and just using that. Just showing this both ways. Just different effects. Notice which one is appropriate for you. And when possible, coming back. So this is kind of neat. I learned this from my teacher, Mr. Sridhar, my last trip. Your arms forward with your hands and fists. You're gonna come forward onto those wrists. And I like to keep them parallel. They could be thumbs parallel or fingers parallel. And coming forward, I like to bend the elbows when I come forward to get into the mid back, but you could have the arms straight. And then exhale, coming back, leave your hands there, come back. And release. Inhale, you come onto the fists and come up. So this is strengthening the wrists. You can release the thumb forward or you can fold it in. Again, it has a different effect. It's a little harder with the thumb folded in for me, but that might not be the case for you. Let me show with my thumbs parallel now. It's quite different in terms of the effect on the wrists and the fingers. I'm just finishing your last one. But yeah, I was really interested to learn this my last trip. 2023. One of you was there with me. And when you're ready, come into seated. So that's our transition to seated. So classically, we do on our knees as a transition to seated when it's available. Our practice, it's often not as we age. Fortunately, this group here today, you're almost all yoga teachers or advanced students, so do whatever I want with you guys. Okay, so get comfortable. You could be sitting on a chair. Just a reminder, doing this video, this is not accessible. Feel free to sit on a chair. You want your spine to be straight. That's the main thing. We're going to do movement of the spine with Shitali Pranayama. Inhale through the tongue. And looking up. Rolling the head back. Exhale, tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth, Ujjayi Pranayama. Coming down. We're going to combine this with Nyasam. So inhale, thumb comes up the index finger. Exhale, index finger down the thumb, flick, and that through all the fingers. I know you guys in the room know this, so just cue one round. Inhale through the tongue, thumb up the index finger. Exhale, finger coming down the thumb. And flick. If you can't do Shitali, do Sitkari with the tongue between the teeth. Just behind the teeth or between the teeth. Thumb up, middle finger on the inhale and exhale, middle finger down the thumb, pressing as hard as you can. This is nerve flossing, how the yogis do it. This is also used for counting pranayama. In my own practice, I use this for counting my pranayama. So that I also get to work my fingers and avoid arthritis as I age. Just free counts. FRE, whatever ratio was working for you. Doing a couple of rounds. And the more I bend the elbows and draw the shoulders up and back, elbows down, the more I can keep my chest open as I do this. Just finishing up. Hands at the heart. Inhale, arms at the sides. Shoulder blades together, maybe looking up slightly. Exhale, give yourself a hug as we chant Shanti 3 times. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. On the inhale, think Om. Om. Or you could also chant Om. You could also exhale with me and do an inhale with your arms open. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale, opening up. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands at the heart. Peace. Peace. Namaste. Namaskaram. Thank you very much.